Breaking Through News is continuing its series on the recent Virginia General Assembly's special session. The Democrats and the Republicans held a news conference almost simultaneously. The Democrats started off with heated responses to the sudden ending of the gun control debate.
I've been in the General Assembly, as you know, over 4 decades. This is by far and away the most irresponsible act by any political party since I've been in politics. Let me repeat that. This is the most totally irresponsible act. And this nonsense that this bill should have been sent to the Crime Commission, excuse me, what was new in any of those bills? The other thing that's totally inescapable is this fact. They are under complete, total, and absolute control of the National Rifle Association. Anybody who has any doubt about whether or not that's true or not, all they need to do is witness what happened today. The National Rifle Association dictated their conduct from start to finish. So, again, it doesn't get any more irresponsible than this. And the voters need to know that unless if they want unlimited access to guns, the Republicans are their party. If they want something done about this never-ending violence, they need to vote every last one of them out of office, because every last one of them is controlled by the National Rifle Association. Not some of them, all of them. Thank you. I'd like to speak to my counterpart now, Eileen.
Hi, Eileen FillerCorn, House Democratic Leader. I just wanted to say, obviously we are shocked and disturbed by what just happened, but we all should be. And we should be on behalf of Virginians. We were elected to do a job. We were elected to move Virginia forward. We're elected to save lives. We had an opportunity today. We've had an opportunity year after year, but today we had an opportunity to discuss, debate, and to vote on bills that would literally save lives. How in good conscience can we, as legislators, not debate and vote on those bills? We had every opportunity. So yet again, the Republicans said no. No to safety, no to the Virginians, no to saving lives. And where are they right now? They're spending more time talking to the press than they afforded us the opportunity, and you all the opportunity. Rather than focusing on issues that could literally save lives, they said no. Decided to abandon their job, their responsibility as legislators. It's disgraceful. We can do better. We should do better. We were prepared to do better today. And guess what? November 5th is right around the corner, and the voters will decide.
I'm Mamie Lott, the Senate Caucus, Democratic Caucus Chair. What we have witnessed today is an abdication of responsibility on the part of our Republican colleagues. Rather than take responsibility for Virginians' lives, they've decided to kick the can down the road. Rather than take responsibility and vote on legislation, sensible gun legislation, they've decided, oh no, we're just going to waste taxpayer dollars and have all 140 of us come here to Richmond and just sit around for a few hours and say, oh no, we'll just wait until after the election and see what happens. Rather than take responsibility and vote on legislation and have all of us vote on that legislation, they've just decided we're not going to do that. We'll let the Crime Commission handle it. It's not the Crime Commission's responsibility to vote on legislation. That's our responsibility to vote on legislation.
Yes, it is.
To make those kinds of decisions.
Yes.
It's our responsibility to do that. But they would rather not do that. They'd rather talk to all of you and tell you what they would like to do, rather than make a decision. You know, they are cowards. They are irresponsible cowards who have drunk the Kool-Aid. Hold up your sign. They drank the Kool-Aid. You know, and they are in the pockets of the National Rifle Association. And they have demonstrated that today. That they are irresponsible, that they don't know how to make, no, I take that back. Not that they don't know how to make a decision. They won't make a decision. And they are refusing to make a decision on behalf of the citizens of the Commonwealth, because they'd rather be supportive of the National Rifle Association, hiding behind them, rather than doing what is right and responsible for the citizens of the Commonwealth. And as my colleague said, Delegate FillerCorn, November 5th is coming. And the citizens will have an opportunity to show them what is right.
Unfortunately, today we saw an abdication of responsibility, and I will give you all a little background about the Crime Commission, on which I'm honored to serve. Crime Commission has already set its agenda for studies for this year. So that means that once again, gun safety takes a back seat. Now, I'm hopeful that maybe there's a change and maybe we can do something through the Crime Commission and recommend bills, but think about this. The governor called a session. We came here prepared to discuss bills and take votes. We've abandoned, actually the Republicans have abandoned their responsibility to Virginians. There are children who are scared to go to their playgrounds. There are families who decide each day which way they're going to go. And I think as a parent to every Virginian, the members of the other side of the aisle decided to wait until after an election where there is no accountability to finally take some action. And there is no guarantee, mind you, that we will come back on November 18th. It was a surprise when that date was thrown out on the House floor. I know our leader has been in communications with the Speaker about procedure and what would happen, but this is not fair play. And it's not about Democrats and Republicans. What they did is unfair to every Virginian, and especially our children, who have to do drills about how to keep safe. Every child. We did them a disservice today. Thank you.
Again, we'd like to thank you all. To reiterate again, what you witnessed today was the ultimate act of irresponsibility and the worst I've seen in my more than 4 decades in the General Assembly. And, you vote for that party, you're voting to hand this place over to the National Rifle Association, lock, stock, and barrel. That was proven today, and I hope the voters on November the 5th remember exactly what occurred here today. And we want to thank you all for your patience. This is far from over, and in the end, let me assure you, we are going to prevail, one way or another. Thank you.
I caught up with a few of the legislators following the news conference. Charnel Herring is the chairman of the Democratic caucus. I questioned her about how the special session ended.
Surprising procedural maneuver with a date set of us coming back November 18th. And it was an abdication of responsibility by the other side of the aisle. They want to wait until after the November elections to cast votes on these bills. And it's a letdown for Virginians. I thought I heard wrong, and so I asked the Speaker, a parliamentary inquiry, did I hear November 18th? And then I wanted to then ask more parliamentary inquiries about whether or not after the election, what is the meaning of that if individuals are certified, and go through what this actually means after the elections. Unfortunately, I was cut off, and the Speaker went ahead, and we're not sure right now whether he called for nays at all, but that's what happened.
Eileen FillerCorn is the House Democratic leader. She says Virginia Beach was a travesty and served as a catalyst for the special session.
We were called back here today by the governor for a special session focused on gun violence prevention. We were determined to come here, have the opportunity to introduce bills, discuss, debate bills, and pass them into law. Why? So that we can save lives. We have been moving in this direction for so long, focusing on these bills, year after year, introducing bills that could potentially save lives. And at every turn, the Republicans have said no. They have killed them in subcommittee, they have killed them in full committee, and most times we didn't even have the opportunity to debate them on the floor. We were hoping and we thought this special session was different, and we had ample opportunity to do just that. Instead, the Republicans decided to abandon their responsibilities and just go home and say that they're not equipped to deal with these issues right now and that they adjourned until after the election. That is not what we should be doing. Why? We're elected officials. All 100 of us here were elected to make a difference, to change lives, to improve lives. In this case, to save lives. And I can't in good conscience I just wonder, how can they sleep at night when they know that there are bills out there that we could have passed that would save lives? And instead, they said no. We've said no, they have said no, time and time again. Doing nothing is not an option. This is extremely disturbing, upsetting, and all I can say is November 5th is right around the corner. The voters will decide.
Adam Eben is a state senator for the 30th District.
I think it was a parliamentary maneuver to abdicate responsibility and stop the people of Virginia from hearing a legitimate discussion about how to reduce gun violence in the wake of yet another tragedy.
Eben says he was in the Virginia House of Delegates during the Virginia Tech massacre.
I'm outraged. I mean, we cannot, and the voters of Virginia will not, stand for parliamentary maneuvers. 11,000 Virginians are dead between Virginia Tech and Virginia Beach, and the Republicans would say it's too soon to take action, and I'd say for 11,000 people it's far too late.
In Richmond, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.